All right, here we are at the Airstream with Alejandro, also known as Shakey Graves. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First, let's talk about the name. All right.
Okay, yeah.
I know this is old news to you, but new to a lot of people here. When people come to a show and they don't know anything about you, do you find they're surprised that you're not a 90-year-old black man from Mississippi?
I'm not? What are you talking about, man? No, that's the idea. You know, that's why
It's an old soul kind of name. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of me not being comfortable being like, this is the Alejandro Rose Garcia, you know, like dong explosion or what, you know, like this is. I think it's nice to have a little bit of a separation between yourself and what you put out musically. I think it has made me more brave and kind of go places I don't feel personally comfortable going.
Do you have a different persona on stage because of that than you do in real life?
Well, yeah, I'd have to.
Yeah.
I'd have to, yeah. But that's just performing. You know, if you do theater or dance or any performing medium, I'm pretty sure that at some point you'll be like, what am I saying, right? You know, did I just rip my shirt off and dance? You know, like frolic through a room.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm real curious about the one-man band sort of setup you have. Now, was that done out of necessity, or you don't get along with drummers?
Both. I hate drummers. No, I used to give myself a lot of excuses. You know, I think a lot of people do. It's super easy where I'd be like, well, if I only had anything, if I could only sing like this, or if I could only blah blah blah, and it really came out of necessity. It was like I wrote some songs that I was finally willing to show in front of people, but you know, raising your hand, being like, I have songs now, you know, doesn't mean that people are going to pay attention whatsoever. And I tried that for a long time. I'd walk in, be check me out, and it's like, well, we're here to drink and not pay attention to you. And so it kind of developed as an attention-getting maneuver to sort of even just shut people up in the first place. And then it actually started changing the way. It's kind of like a weapons and armor thing. Like I developed a way to do this, and then I had to develop a way to do that, and then that developed the way that people did this, and then I just yelled at people for an hour, and then I tried to bring that back. Now I yell at people for a half hour, and I do other stuff for a half hour.
Has anyone asked you to make them a kick drum suitcase setup like that?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen some pretty convincing ones out there too.
Yeah. Any plans to mass produce that?
Yeah. Well, it's not up to me. These are built by one of my closest friends. He's got the secret recipe, the whole thing. I was like, I want to look a suitcase. I want all the stuff, and it's like got a beer tap. You know, I had this huge ideas, and he came back with this very. Unconventional, pretty great setup. I'm on my third one now. This is the red one. The first one was yellow. Second one was blue. Third one's red. Primary colors covered.
Have you been approached by Louis Vuitton or any major brands?
No, I'm a Samsonite man myself. I'm a Samsonite boy.
Old school, right?
That's right. It's all Samsonite all the way.
I'm real curious because people see you perform live and they're like, man, this guy is kicking on this drum set and doing this real cool live thing. What does that mean when you want to go in the studio? It's very different when you're putting down a record.
Yeah.
What's the biggest obstacle, or is there one?
Well, the biggest obstacle is, I'd say, believing your own hype. You know, like the first album I put out was before I did the one-man band or really even had a very good live show in the first place. But I love that album, and it's the reason that I developed the one-man band, was to get these songs across. So I feel like the biggest mistake I could make is not making something farther ahead of myself right now. So the next thing I'm trying to make is something that I have no idea how to do live. And then if the past is any template for the future, it'll be strange. It'll come across. I don't think it's going to be how I think it is, but it's going to be a breakdancing techno show, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And I'm real curious, this interview will hopefully live on forever on the web.
Eternally.
For those tuning in, it's just a few days before what we call South by Southwest.
Yeah.
The big music festival here in Austin. You're a local guy.
Yeah.
What's it feel like being the local artist when people from all over the world come blowing in and taking over the town?
It feels good on the sense that I can mentally figure out how to drive places that I think other people wouldn't figure out how to go. And it feels great to represent the city. Being close friends with a lot of people that work in Austin, South by isn't always about Austin bands. And I feel like, the more that me and fellow musicians that work here and grow up here can really try and root in and make sure that we're doing good stuff and getting good attention and not wearing ourselves out. You know, it's a task above just going to a festival. You know, I feel like really holding our ground and trying to be like, oh no, go see them, go see this, don't eat here because I'm going to be, you know, like stay out of my favorite places and we're good, you know.
I'm curious, I know you do some TV, film.
Mm-hmm.
If you could take your music and have it be a soundtrack to any existing TV show or film, what would it be?
God, are you serious? Soundtrack to any existing TV or film.
Or
existing film? What do you mean?
Yeah, if it's a movie and you could reload it with your music as the soundtrack.
I'll just stick to Adventure Time. I do Adventure Time the whole way out, all the way. Forever.
All right. Hey, do you think we can twist your arm, because you were so comfortable on camera and it went very quick and efficiently, twist your arm to play another tune out here?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. Y'all give it up for the Alejandro Shakey Graves.